What's up, friends? Brandon here. Welcome back to the channel, and it's race day. It's time to run off leg number 5 of the Blueline Racing's 70-gram Ford F150 Championship Series here at Scale Racing Channel. We did a random number generator to determine the starting order, and this is going to be our lineup for round number 1. We're running rocket round. Fastest pass after lane swaps will advance that truck onto the next round. And for the race final, we're going to run the last 2 trucks twice in each lane. Fastest recorded time will crown the champion here at Scale Racing Channel. We got 32 trucks from all over the globe, all over the United States. These are going to be the fastest F150s on the planet. This ought to be interesting. Are you with me? Well, let's go. Well, this took a little bit longer for me to complete and get the track tuned in, but I swapped over to a drop pin style start gate. So no more transitions, no more weird bumps off of the old start gate system. And also, just for this race, went ahead and replaced lanes 1 and 2 with brand new orange track all the way down. Try to make this as fair and as interesting as possible. Okay, for round number 1 racing, all of the lane number 1 trucks are going to be on the left. And we've got Heartbeat Racing with the 79 F150 versus Redline Salvage Inc. in the 2009 F150. On your marks, get set, go! And it's Heartbeat Racing taking that one 2265 to a 2292. Lane swap, Heartbeat Racing now in lane number 2. 2265 is the time to beat if Redline wants to stay in it. On your marks, get set, go! And Heartbeat taking it again, 2271 to a 2292. Heartbeat Racing advances to round number 2. Next up, we've got Red Pill Racing with the silver and black 2009 F150 and Crazy 8s Racing with the all black 2009 F150. On your marks, get set, go! And it's Red Pill with some gappage, 2248 to a 2287. Laser swap, Red Pill Racing with the advantage, 2.248 is the time to beat. On your marks, get set, go! And he does the same performance, 2.246 to a 2.285. Red Pill Racing advancing on to round number 2.
Next up, we've got Biff NRV Diecast with a 2009 F150 versus Pool Boy Racing with an 09 F150.
On your marks, get set, go! Biff putting some gappage on Pool Boy Racing, 2.239 to a 2.272. Laser swap, Biff NRV Diecast now in lane number 2 has the advantage. Pool Boy needs to beat a 2.239. On your marks, get set, go! 2.241 for Biff to a 2.267 for Pool Boy. Biff NRV moving on to the next round.
Next up, all the way from Canada, we've got the Crazy Canuck driving the 2017 Ford Raptor, looking mighty good, versus Jack Racing with the 2009 F150.
On your marks, get set, go! Jack Racing taking that one by about a half a car length, 2.258 to a 2.283. Laser swap, Jack Racing now in lane number 1. Crazy Canuck needs to beat a 2.258 to move on. On your marks, get set, go! And Jack pulls it off again, 2.254 to a 2.283. Jack Racing advances to round number 2.
Mattman213 with the silver 09 F150 versus Rivera Racing with the blue 09 F150.
On your marks, get set, go! Good race, but it is Mattman taking that one with a 2.254 to a 2.266. Laser swap, Mattman now in lane number 2 with the advantage. Rivera Racing needs to beat a 2.254 to stay alive. On your marks, get set, go! Matt gets another one, 2.252 to a 2.272. Mattman advances to the next round.
Next up is Scale Racing with an 09 F150 versus Team DRT3K with a 1997 Ford F150.
On your marks, get set, go. And Scale Racing making the pass. 2.252 to a 2.264. Lanes swap, Scale Racing with the advantage now in lane number 2. DRT3K needs to beat a 2.252 to stay in it. On your marks, get set, go. Pretty tight race. Another 2.252 to a 2.262. Scale Racing moving on to the next round.
Next, we have Golden Owl with the 1979 F150 versus Cash Money Boys with the 2009 F150.
On your marks, get set, go. Tight race, but it is Golden Owl taking that one. 2.264 to a 2.277. Golden Owl now lane number 2. Cash Money Boys need to beat a 2.264 to stay in it. On your marks, get set, go. Golden Owl about a fender beat. 2.263 to a 2.276. Golden Owl moving on to the next round.
Next up, we got a pair of 1997 F150s. Numbskull Racing driving the green one, and Big Al's Custom Diecast driving the white one.
On your marks, get set, go. Oh, Big Al with the whole shot. Numbskull drives around him. 2.266 to a 2.283. Numbskull Racing now in lane number 2. Big Al's needs to beat a 2.266 to proceed. On your marks, get set, go. And no doubt, 2.277 to 2.308. Numbskull Racing moving on to the next round.
Next up, we got a pair of 2009 F150s. The black one driven by Ghost Driver and Flips Racing in the silver and red.
On your marks, get set, go. Oh, Flips Racing had it all the way down the track. 2.264 to a 2.273. Ghost Driver putting up a pretty good fight. Flips Racing with the advantage in lane number 1. Ghost Driver needs to beat a 22.64 to stay in it. On your marks, get set, go. And it's Flips, no doubt about it. 2.254 to a 2.274. Flips Racing moving on to the next round.
G4 Diecast Racing driving the graffitied out 09 F150 and Vapor Racing driving the 79 F150.
On your marks, get set, go. Good race. 22.68 to a 22.70. Vapor Racing taking the first one. Vapor Racing now to lane number 1 with the advantage. G4 Custom Diecast needs to beat a 22.68 to move on. On your marks, get set, go. And it looks like Vapor did it again. 22.62 to a 22.78. Vapor Racing moving on to the next round.
The random number picker chose the 2 Ford F-150 SVT Lightnings to run against each other. Ought to be interesting. We've got Raw Sun God in the black one and Parker Racing in the red.
On your marks, get set, go. Pretty tight race. Let's see, 2289 to a 2291. So Raw Sun God taking the first one. Raw Sun God with the advantage now in lane number 2. Parker Racing needs to beat a 2289 to advance. On your marks, get set, go. Oh, it's tight. 2280 to a 2285. Parker Racing comes back and steals it. He'll be moving on to the next round.
Here we've got a pair of 09 F-150s. Arlo Racing driving the multicolored truck on the left and FPD Racing driving the black and red.
On your marks, get set, go. That's a pretty tight race, but it is FPD Racing taking that one. 2273 to a 2279. FPD Racing with the advantage. Arlo needs to beat a 2273 if he wants to move on. On your marks, get set, go. And it is FPD 2255 to a 2280. FPD Racing going on to round number 2.
A couple of color changer 09 F-150s, and this ought to be an interesting race. We got Boxer Racing on the left and Blueline Racing on the right.
Voxer versus Blueline in round number 1. This ought to be a good one. On your marks, get set, go. Tight race. Looks like Voxer got it. 22.53 to a 22.56. Voxer with the advantage now in lane number 2. Blueline needs to be at 22.53 to move on. On your marks, get set, go. He might do it. 22.52 to a 22.60. Blueline beating out Voxer by 1/1000th of a second in his second run. He'll be moving on to the next round.
Don Boomershine, aka Kaboom Racing, driving the 09 color change F150 on the left, and Healer Racing in the all blue 09 F150 on the right.
On your marks, get set, go. And it's Healer taking that one. 22.59 to a 22.83. Laser swap. Healer Racing now in lane number 1. Kaboom Racing needs to beat a 22.59 in order to move on. On your marks, get set, go. And it's Healer doing it again. 22.57 to a 22.80. Healer Racing advances.
Another pair of 09 F150s, Mark D of Cut Rocker from Australia in the pink and silver on the left, and Tex 10 Racing in the yellow and blue on the right.
On your marks, get set, go. Oh, Mark D taking that one. 22.62 to a 22.91. Laser swap. Mark D now in lane number 2. Tex 10 Racing needs to beat a 22.62 to move on. On your marks, get set, go. A tighter race that time. 22.72 to a 22.78. Mark D of Cut Rocker moving on to round number 2.
And for the last matchup of round number 1, we've got DXP Racing driving the 50th anniversary 09 F150 on the left, and Commotion Diecast driving the Goodyear F150 on the right.
On your marks, get set, go. Race. 22.56 to a 22.56. Looks like we got a tie ball game. All right, laser swap. We need to beat a 22.56 in the first run. On your marks, get set, go. Oh my goodness. 22.51 to a 22.63. Commotion Diecast running a fast one. He's the last truck going to round number 2. Round 1 of the books. Winners on the inside, losers on the outside. All right, round 2 is going to start off with Heartbeat Racing in lane number 1 and Red Pill Racing in lane number 2. On your marks, get set, go. Pretty tight race. 22.53 to a 22.57. Red Pill taking the first one. Red Pill Racing with the advantage now in lane number 1. Heartbeat Racing needs to beat a 22.53 if he wants to move on. On your marks, get set, go. And it's Red Pill all the way. 22.49 to a 22.71. Red Pill Racing moving on to the next round. Next up, we've got Biff NRV Racing in lane number 1 and Jack Racing in lane number 2. On your marks, get set, go. Biff taking that one by about half a car length. 22.35 to a 22.47. These things are speeding up a little bit. Biff NRV Racing with the advantage now in lane number 2. Jack Racing needs to beat a 22.35 in order to move on. On your marks, get set. And Biff, just too much. 22.39 to a 22.56. Biff NRV going on to round number 3. Here we have Mattman 213 in lane number 1 and Scale Racing in lane number 2. On your marks, get set, go. Tight race, but it's Mattman 213, 2.248 to a 2.255. Mattman 213 now currently in lane number 2 with the advantage. Scale Racing needs to beat a 22.48 to move to the next round. On your marks, get set, go. It's tight, but it looks like Mattman 22.50 to 22.53. Mattman 213 going to round number 3. Next up, we got the Golden Owl in lane number 1 and Numbskull Racing in lane number 2. On your marks, get set, go. And it's Numbskull taking that one 22.56 to a 22.77. Golden Owl now with the advantage in lane number 2. Numbskull Racing needs to beat a 22.56 to stay alive. On your marks, get set, go. And it looks like Golden Owl taking it again, 22.57 to a 22.61. Golden Owl moving on to round number 3. And the right-hand side of the board is going to start off with Flips Racing in lane number 1 and Vapor Racing in lane number 2. On your marks, get set, go. And it's Flips taking that one, 22.41 to a 22.74. Laser swap, Flips Racing now in lane number 2. Vapor Racing needs to beat a 22.41. Stay in it. On your marks, get set, go. Pretty tight race. 22.46 to a 22.48. Flips Racing taking that one. He'll be moving on to the next round. Up on deck, we've got Parker Racing in lane number 1 and FPD Racing in lane number 2. On your marks, get set, go. The FPD leading that one from start to finish, 22.55 to a 22.63. FPD Racing with the advantage now in lane number 1. Parker Racing needs to beat a 22.55 to go to round 3. On your marks, get set, go. And it's a 22.57 to a 22.65. FPD Racing advances to round 3. Next up, Blueline Racing in lane number 1 and Healer Racing in lane number 2. On your marks, get set, go. But it's Blueline edging out into the lead, 22.49 to a 22.58. Blueline with the advantage in lane number 2. Healer Racing needs to beat a 22.49 to move on. On your marks, get set, go. $22.58 to a $22.60. Blueline wins them both. He'll be moving on to round number 3. And for the last race of round number 2, we've got Mark D from Cut Rocker in lane number 1 and Commotion Diecast in lane number 2. On your marks, get set, go. Pretty good race, but it is Commotion Diecast taking that one, 2.253 to a 2.258. Commotion Diecast with the advantage now in lane number 1. Mark D needs to be at a 22.53 to stay alive. On your marks, get set, go. and it's commotion die cast. 2255 to a 2270. Commotion die cast, the last truck to be going on to round number 3. Round 2 in the books. Winners on the inside, losers on the outside. First race of round number 3, we've got Red Pill Racing in lane number 1 and Biff NRV Racing in lane number 2. Should be a good one. On your marks, get set, go! Biff with the whole shot. Red Pill trying to make it up on the big end, and it's a tie. 2242 to a 2242. Awesome. Laser swapped, and it's a tie ball game. Winner of this one goes on to the next round. On your marks, get set. It looks like Biff got that one. 2239 to a 2249. Wow. Biff ripping off a fast one. That's going to advance him on to the next round. Next up, we got Mattman 213 in lane number 1 and the Golden Owl in lane number 2. On your marks, get set, go! It looks like Mattman just edging out Golden Owl. 2254 to a 2258. Laser swap, Mattman 213 with the advantage now in lane number 2. Golden Owl needs to beat a 2254 if he has any hopes of staying in it. On your marks, get set, go! .213 is just too strong. 2254 to a 2268. Mattman 213 moving on to the next round. Up on deck, we've got Flips Racing in lane number 1 and FPD Racing in lane number 2. On your marks, get set, go! Flips taking that one by about a half a car length. 2244 to a 2262. Major swap, Flips Racing in lane number 2 with the advantage. FPD Racing needs to beat a 2244 to stay alive. On your marks, get set, go! Flips taking that one. 2251 to a 2255. Flips Racing moving on to the next round. Last two for round number 3, we got Blueline Racing in lane number 1 and Commotion Diecast in lane number 2. On your marks, get set, go! Pretty tight race. 2248 to a 2250. Blueline takes the first one by 2 thousandths. Laser swap, Blueline with the advantage now in lane number 2. Commotion Diecast needs to beat a 2248 to move on. On your marks, get set, go! And it's going to be close. .2253 to a 2253. And that is not going to be fast enough to beat Blueline's first time of 2248. So he'll be moving on to the next round. Round 3 in the books. Winners on the inside, losers on the outside. Semi-final round starts with Biff NRV Racing in lane number 1 and Mattman 213 in lane number 2. On your marks, get set, go! But it is Biff 2242 to a 2249. Biff has the advantage currently in lane number 2. Mattman 213 needs to beat a 2248 to go on to the big show. On your marks, get set, go! And Biff is going to hold him off all the way down the track. 2239 to a 2248. Biff NRV Racing going to the final round. Second semifinal race, we got Flips Racing in lane number 1 and Blueline Racing in lane number 2. On your marks, get set, go! Like Flips taking it by about a bumper, 2247 to 2250. Flips Racing with the advantage now in lane number 2. Blueline Racing needs to beat a 2247 to move on to the final race. On your marks, get set, go! 2247 to a 2254. We've got a fast lap tie, so let's take him back to the top of the hill. Back in the original starting positions, Flips in lane number 1, Blueline Racing in lane number 2. On your marks, get set, go! Flips taking that one big time. 2238 to a 2256. That's gonna be a hard one to beat right there. Laser swap, Flips Racing sets down the gauntlet. 2238 is the time to beat for Blueline Racing. On your marks, get set, go! And that's not gonna happen. 2248 to a 2249. Flips Racing moving on to the final race. Semifinals are complete. Here's your final race. And we got a race for third right down here. Racing for the last step on the podium, we've got Mattman 213 in lane number 1 and Blueline Racing in lane number 2. On your marks, get set, go! Even all the way down the hill. Looks like Mattman taking the lead on the long end, 2250 to a 2253. Lanes are swapped. Mattman 213 now in lane number 2 with the advantage. Blueline needs to beat a 2250 to steal third. On your marks, get set, go! And 2243 to a 2250. Blueline Racing with a fast lap is going to give him third overall in podium. All right, boys, final race of the night. Biff NRV Racing in lane number 1 and Flips Racing in lane number 2. And remember, for the final, we're going to run these cars twice in each lane. Fastest pass is going to crown the overall champion. Race 1, on your marks, get set, go! Good race. Looks like Biff taking that one. Like Biff taking that one, 2236 to a 2242. Biff starting out, setting the bar high. Race number 2, trucks stay in the same lanes. On your marks, get set, go! Looks like Biff doing it again. Doing it again, 2237 to a 2249. Race number 3 in the lanes are swapped. We got Flips Racing in lane number 1 and Biff's NRV Racing in lane number 2. Biff setting the bar at 2.236. Time to beat. On your marks, get set, go. Biff stays down. Biff stays ahead the whole way, 2.239 to a 2.244. Biff taking 3 of them. Race number 4, trucks in the same lane as the last race. Flips needs to pull off a hero run to beat the 2.236 set by Biff if he's gonna win the overall. On your marks, get set, go. And I don't think it's gonna happen. 2238 to a 2239. And there you have it, Biff's Racing taking the overall victory. All right, there you have it, Biff NRV Racing taking the overall win for the Blueline's F150 leg here at the Scale Racing channel. And we've got Flips Racing taking the number 2 spot, with Blueline Racing coming in 3rd. Had a good time watching all these fast trucks go down the track. I appreciate all you racers trusting me with your fast F150s, and thank you to Tim at Blueline Racing for including me in the series. And thank you to all who are watching and support the channel. Without you, I wouldn't be able to continue doing this. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, y'all stay healthy, have fun racing.